Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us for this one, because we are about to decode a mystery that really affects every single one of us. Have you ever noticed that as we get older, we just start accumulating these tiny, everyday physical annoyances? We usually just brush them off, right? But what if I told you those everyday annoyances are actually critical warning bells? Today, we're diving into the iceberg of aging to reveal the hidden SOS signals your body is desperately trying to send you.
So let's do a quick self-diagnosis right off the bat. Ask yourself, have you recently noticed your memory slipping a bit? Like maybe you've had trouble keeping up with the tempo of a conversation. Or perhaps you've noticed your heels getting unusually dry and cracked, or you're dealing with this stubborn bad breath that brushing just doesn't seem to fix. Have you felt any of these seemingly unrelated annoyances lately?
Well, if you answered yes to any of those, you're going to want to pay close attention. This isn't just, quote-unquote, getting older. We so often view these as completely isolated, surface-level issues, but they actually represent a systemic vascular SOS. Think of it like a giant iceberg. What you see on the surface, the dry skin, the brain fog, actually means that beneath the surface, your blood vessels, the body's vital supply routes, are deteriorating. To truly understand how to fix this, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover hidden signs of aging, brain and reproductive impacts, SOS from your extremities, habits destroying your mobility, and finally, protecting your body from within. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Hidden signs of aging and why you shouldn't ignore the warnings.
Take a look at these 6 really common symptoms. We've got brain fog and memory loss, erectile dysfunction, a white tongue and bad breath, dry and cracked heels, eye strain and dry eyes, and finally, brittle nails and thinning hair. Now, on the surface, these look like 6 completely different medical issues, right? But the absolute crucial takeaway here is the big picture. Your entire body is connected by a single highway system, your blood vessels. When that highway ages and breaks down, the traffic of oxygen and nutrients literally stops reaching its destinations, and that causes all of these issues to pop up at once.
Moving on to Section 2. Brain and reproductive impacts are vital supply routes.
Did you know that your brain, which only makes up a tiny fraction of your overall body weight, actually consumes an astonishing 20% of your body's blood flow? That's wild. And this brings us to a massively important molecule called nitric oxide. It's a vital substance produced right by the inner lining of your blood vessels. You can kind of think of it as a natural vessel expander. When your vessels age or harden due to, say, poor lifestyle choices, your nitric oxide production just plummets. And when this happens, blood flow gets restricted. For your brain, this means a lack of oxygen and nutrients, which actually leads to a drop in neurotransmitters like dopamine. The end result? Brain fog and a total lack of motivation. Down below, restricted blood flow directly causes erectile dysfunction, or ED. In fact, because the blood vessels there are so incredibly fine, ED is often considered one of the very first warning signs of systemic vascular aging.
Okay, so here is a totally surprising fun fact for you. Because medications like Cialis, scientifically known as tadalafil, work by expanding blood vessels and improving systemic blood flow, there's actually a growing trend of women microdosing it for its whole-body beauty and health benefits. It really highlights a fascinating point. These treatments aren't just local fixes. They are systemic vascular enhancers. Though, as the source material rightly notes, this should absolutely always be done under a doctor's supervision.
All right, let's move down the body a bit to Section 3. SOS from your extremities, far from the heart.
Let's talk about your tongue for a second. If you look in the mirror and see a white layer, you might just assume your mouth is dirty. But that white coating actually sits on tiny bumps called your lingual papillae. When blood flow to the mouth is poor, cell turnover slows way down, and dead cells just start to accumulate. Even worse, poor blood flow reduces your saliva production, and saliva is actually your mouth's natural cleaning agent. Without it, bad bacteria just thrive on those dead cells, and they release these volatile compounds that cause chronic bad breath.
And this perfectly illustrates where we so often go wrong. The typical completely wrong solution when people have a white tongue or thick, cracked heels, which by the way happen because the dead skin cells on your feet aren't shedding due to poor circulation, is to aggressively scrub their tongues or use these harsh chemical peels on their feet. But doing this actually causes microscopic wounds. It invites infection and literally makes things so much worse. The right solution is addressing the root cause, improving your internal blood flow through lifestyle changes. Basically, don't treat the surface when the system itself is crying for help.
This loss of nutrients, it really hits all our extremities. Just look at these other SOS signals. Our eyes require massive amounts of blood to function, When that flow drops, antioxidants don't reach the lens, leading to oxidative stress and eventually even cataracts. Less blood also means less tear production, which causes severe dry eyes. The tiny ciliary muscles that focus your eyes get super fatigued because they just aren't getting energy. And what about your hair and nails? They are made of a protein called keratin, which absolutely requires zinc and amino acids. You can literally take all the zinc supplements in the world, but if your blood flow is poor, those nutrients will never actually reach your scalp or your fingertips, resulting in thinning hair and brittle nails.
Let's pivot a bit. Section 4. Habits destroying your mobility. Those tiny, unconscious daily habits. Let's break down the direct cause and effect of some really common daily habits. First up, if you always carry your heavy shopping bags on one side, you are actively causing spinal curvature and wearing down your joints asymmetrically. Second, running on hard concrete. The impact just destroys your joint cartilage over time. And remember what we learned about blood flow? Cartilage actually has almost zero blood flow, meaning once you damage it, it cannot easily heal. Finally, standing or rising from a chair pigeon-toed with your knees pointing inward. Doing this twists the joint, overworks your inner thighs, and drastically increases your risk of tearing your knee meniscus.
So, how do we fix this? Section 5. Protecting your body from within and uniting our vascular health.
First, let's look at the structural fixes you can apply right this second. Step 1. If you carry bags, make it a habit to switch hands every 5 minutes, but keep one hand free so you can catch yourself if you happen to trip. Step 2. If you absolutely must run on concrete, you need to invest in highly cushioned running shoes to replace the shock absorption that the ground lacks. Step 3. Whenever you stand up, consciously keep your feet slightly apart and pointing straight forward. This is going to protect your hips and knees.
Next up, we have our daily systemic fixes to get that blood highway flowing smoothly again. The source material emphasizes eating fresh vegetables and fish to naturally improve your blood flow and prioritizing deep sleep to allow for true cellular recovery. But here is an incredibly practical tip I want you all to try out. Rest your eyes every 20 minutes by looking far away. And if your eyes are feeling completely exhausted, don't go buying expensive eye masks. Simply apply a hot, damp towel to your eyes for just 1 minute. It instantly expands the vessels, boosts blood flow, and you will feel this immediate, incredible relief. It's a real game changer.
I really want to leave you with this one core thought today. Your body is connected. Don't treat the surface, heal the system. From the tips of your thinning hair all the way down to your cracked heels, your body is talking to you. So I have to ask, based on everything we uncovered today, what hidden SOS signal is your body sending you right now? And more importantly, what are you going to do to answer the call? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember, keep listening to your body.